Well, in the Chinese mainland, 270 million people have left their rural hometowns to find work in cities. Urbanization means a chance to make more money. But migrants usually find themselves at the bottom of the ladder in terms of social status and living conditions. CCTV's Wang Yizhi visited a downtown community in Beijing where she got a first-hand look at the differences between migrant workers and city residents.
China's capital, a bustling skyline boasting 21st century prosperity and newfound confidence. Here at this exclusive community in Beijing's central business district, some of the city's wealthiest people live life in the comfort zone. But 3 meters underground, it's a very different story. Walk past the high-end cars and you reach the basements, originally designed as air raid shelters. But there are people living down here, 16 of them, in one dark 20 square meter space. 34-year-old Chao Qing left his family in rural Hebei province and came to Beijing a week ago. He and his roommates work above ground in the same community as security guards and janitors. They make around 2,300 yuan, or about $400 per month. Living conditions are basic. Cooking is banned, so cold takeaways are always on the menu. And a lack of windows means a lack of fresh air and laundry that never smells fresh.
It is estimated that around 1 million people are living underground in Beijing. Making it a staff dormitory bypasses the law that prohibits renting out these basements for residential purposes. Nonetheless, hundreds of thousands of basement rentals still exist because many, like Wang Chaoqing, cannot afford a place above ground.
Chao Qing is well aware of the stark contrast between his lifestyle and those of the people above ground.
I earn far too little. I also have to support my family.
Incomes are higher in cities, but migrant workers find themselves on the lowest rung of the ladder when it comes to welfare and basic rights. 1 month ago, Chao Qing lost part of his index finger in a factory accident in Shandong. He was then let go without being paid.
I miss my family. I will find a better paying job when I recover. I want my children to have a bright future.
That's something everyone wants, not least the people living above ground. Yanling lives in the same building as Chao Qing, 30 floors above. The monthly rent for her 280 square meter apartment is 45,000 yuan, or about $7,000. She works for a state-owned enterprise, while her husband is an entrepreneur. Yanling says she's not oblivious to the glaring wealth gap, but she says people have very different backgrounds in education. She believes rich people should give more to charity, but says it's up to the government to properly manage the widening gap.
I'm always busy working and taking care of my family. I didn't notice that there were people living in basements right under this building. Now I know. My heart goes out to them and I respect them because of their hard work.
Professor Wang Sibin has studied poverty and rural development for 2 decades. He says narrowing the gap is an uphill battle in China's transitional stage.
New high-tech industries are replacing the old ones. Low-income workers lack appropriate skills and face the risk of unemployment. The low-income population will grow.
But Professor Wang doesn't think the widening gap will cause social unrest. He says the government is doing its best to improve social insurance and income distribution. More importantly, he says, Chinese people are very adaptable. So does Chao Qing feel hard done by in terms of the huge wealth gap? No, he says. His resilience, so characteristically Chinese, is bolstered by his hope for a better life in the city of changing opportunities. Wang Yizhi, CCTV, Beijing.